Okay, she's ready. Anybody? Good morning, everybody. You guys remember what's happening today, right? At least one, yes. Okay, and just to remind you guys, the quiz today is going to be another hypothesis test quiz. There's just one hypothesis test on it this time. It's percentages, right? It's percentage hypothesis quiz. I've got the formulas you'll need on there. I've put more formulas on there than you will need, just because part of what you need to do is be able to identify which formula to use when. So I did give you what you need. I gave you more than you need. You're welcome. There will also be questions about the types of errors. And then there might be another question. We'll find out if you know what to do with it. Any questions about the quiz today? Or anybody need to have a question related to Chapter 9 stuff, percentage hypothesis or types of error or anything? Anybody have questions? Man, people just keep coming. I like it. Come on in here. No. Okay, cool. That's fine. If you missed the last class, you desperately need to watch the video. Oh, what you got, Laurel? She's typing. Somebody else came in, up to 27 people. For quiz corrections, do we turn them in via email? Okay, here's how I want quiz corrections to work. I think I put a few quiz correction specific assignments up there, right? What's driving me a little crazy is people don't turn in the original also. So this sounds really petty, but for everybody, I've got to go back to the quiz, look you up, see what you got wrong, go back to the corrections you turned in. It's insane. So I think I'd rather you turn it in the same place you turned in the original quiz, because then I've got the original right there. And it will say late, and you'll know you're not late, because that was the due date for the original quiz, right? Everybody with me? I think I'm just learning on my end how this is going to not drive me as insane as it can. Is everybody with me on that? Yes, good. I like it. I like it. Anything that I don't have a container for, like if you have quiz 1 and you do corrections and you scan it, I think I did put quiz 1 corrections up there. I can't remember. But there's something old that I don't have a container for, just email me that. That's fine. That's my mistake. I'll take that. But please, dear God, please turn the quizzes in on Canvas. You guys with me? Some of you guys are emailing me the quiz. If you can access Canvas to download it, you can access Canvas to upload it. Now, if it's 11:58 p.m. and you're trying to turn it in and Canvas goes down, or Canvas is like, I don't recognize what you're trying to do, email it to me, say, I'm really sorry, Mr. Waller, Canvas would just not take this. And then try to upload it again later. Go sleep. Try to upload, and then I'll have the original. I'll see what the time is. You guys kind of seeing what I'm saying? I mean, way too many people turn it in the next night saying, I had trouble with Canvas. It finally took it. And like, I have no idea if that's true. I don't know. So anyway, any other questions about the quiz or technical issues? I feel like that's what class is made of nowadays, is technical issues. Okay. So what I want to do, oh, here we go. I don't understand how to make the graph. So section, let me see if I can put it up here. 12:2. Oh, if Jeff could just be ready, that would be nice. I'm going to try to pull the book up real quick. Of course, it depends on your definition of quick. Let's see. Where are we at? 12:2. Go away. Oh, yeah, I think, yeah. All right. Oh, this is not bad. Okay. I will tell you, I don't know what to tell you. We'll see what you think. This one's not too bad. Let me see. 12:2, number 60. Okay. So looking at 12:2, number 60. Let me throw it up here. Yeah, okay. Let me see. Where am I at? Share the screen. Bam. So there's number 60, poverty? Where am I from? Poverty rates. and cell phone usage, and they ask you construct a scatter plot of the data. What part of that table is kind of irrelevant? Can anybody see what part of that? Yeah, the year. I don't care what the year. I want to know how these two things relate. The poverty rate? No. The poverty rate and the cell usage, right? So this is like my X, Y table. These are the X's. These are the Y's. What you need to do is the prerequisite knowledge you're supposed to have is algebra. You should know how to make a good scale. And we've made scales before in this class too. So you just have to make an accurate scale to graph those X, Y points. You guys see what I'm saying? So scatter plots are like an algebra problem, and an easy one at that. Just plot the points. Don't connect them. Just plot the points. That's a scatter plot. Does that make sense? So that's the point of 12.2 is just scatter plot, right? And the calculator, we know how to make the calculator do it for us now, but we have to know how to do it also by hand. It's not that crazy hard. I'm not getting any. Is that all right? Am I ever gonna know? I'm gonna assume it's okay because I'm not seeing any follow-up questions. Anybody else? Any other questions from homework stuff? While I got the book up here. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. No, okay, all right. Let's shut that down. Go away. All right, so what I want to do today is I'm trying to figure out right now as I talk what order I want to do this in. I think I want to do it, yes, I want to do it in this order. So I have a handout that I've actually just posted up on Canvas. We're going to do it together right now. You can go into Canvas and grab it later if you want to copy for yourself. Let me see. Let me share my screen again. No, I don't want to go to Microsoft Store. Stop. Go away. Share screen. Okay, so the whole thing we're working on right now is how are two variables related? And we call that a correlation. It's kind of nifty. That the name actually tells you that we cannot tease out causality. It's correlation. They relate with each other, not one causes the other one to change. I can't say that. So this is all about correlation, in which we pronounce correlation, just to say quickly. Do you guys see this scatter plot, right? With the line drawn in already, all nice. So normally, let me see, am I? I think I am recording, right? Yes, I had the lady talk. Somebody was just reminding me to record it. I appreciate that very much. Sorry, everybody. That scared me for a second, which was really an unreasonable reaction. Okay. So I've got, normally when I give this out, like back in the day, in the old times, when we were in classrooms, I would hand this out, the line would not be there. Everybody would draw their own line, and then they would make their own equations of a line. We talk about how they're different because there's all kinds of estimates you can make for what a line is. So I just kind of drew the line in because not everybody is able to print. I understand that. I have a printer, and right now it doesn't want to print anything. So even if you have this stuff, it might not want to work. So what I want you guys to do, let me give you a couple of things. I'm going to make you do this part C. Ha ha ha. So this is our studied. This axis here is our studied, and this axis is mistakes made on a test. So it kind of makes sense. You would expect a downward trend. It would probably not be this strong. Why do I say that's a strong relationship? I don't know, Jeff, you're just weird. The points are, yeah, exactly. I like to say the points are tight to the line. So that line really well describes the relationship between the points. They are close to that line. So I want to pick, what I want to do is I want to use algebra to, I'm going to make you use algebra to come up with the line of best fit, and then we're going to make the calculator do it. because I just want to remind us what we're able to do as humans, as opposed to calculators, right? So what 2 points? Does this line go through any data points? Yes, it goes through a data point. Let's definitely use that data point then. What is that data point that it goes through right there? What is that? Can anybody see that? It's the X is 21, yeah, and the Y is 2. I love it. This, by the way, I'm sorry for the scale. I just grabbed this image from somewhere. Yes, exactly. So 1 point I can use is the point 21, 2. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. Let's see if I can make this something interesting. Yeah, red and bold. Okay. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see this. If you're on a phone, it's especially going to be difficult, but can anyone give me another point that the line goes through? It doesn't go through any more data points, so you cannot use any of those, right? You can only use a point the line actually goes through. So how the hell can I tell? Well, I look for places where it actually goes through an intersection or something. Okay, I see one suggestion is, let's see, 6, 15. It definitely goes to the point 6, 15. Do you guys see that? Oh, let's see, 0, 20. See, that one's a little more iffy. That looks more like 20 point something. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Although if you used it, it's still a good estimate more than likely. And I understand why you want to use that point, King, because that's the y-intercept. It would make the algebra easier. So that's why I'm going to say you can't, haha, because that's not why. It's just beneficial for me because it's not really 20. I think it's going to be 20 point something. Yeah, I mean, you could certainly do that, but I'm going to force you not to because I'm evil. So let's go ahead and use the first suggestion I saw, which is 6, 15. I would also have accepted probably, what else could I have accepted? Well, this is a little iffy here. I think that's the only real good one. So let's use the point 6, 15. All right. Now here's your, here's what you've been hoping for like your whole life. You're like, man, why can't I on a Thursday morning early do me some algebra? And here it is. I'm doing it for you. I'm going to make you do it. Oh shit, what happened to my equation? I killed it. Let me put this in here. In fact, does anybody remember any equation of a line? Give me any equation of a line. Have you forgotten how to use this, Jeff? Are you kidding me? Where can I go? You, come here. Okay, good. I got one. Y equals mx plus b. I love it. And then Raul, I like this. Raul, we're going to store yours away because that is the equation for slope. Does everybody see Raul's chat? I'm not trying to make you feel bad, Raul, but that's a good thing to remember. Of course, the top and bottom need parentheses, but that's the rise over run. The beautiful thing about rise over run is rise rhymes with wise. And that's why the y's are on top. So that's a nice thing. Okay, so that's not the equation I want to use though. The equation that I pretty much have to use because I didn't allow us to use the, what do you call it? You can do it, Jeff. The y-intercept. I don't even know if can you guys see me typing right now? I'm just curious. Or is this hidden from you? Ah, it's hidden. All right, good. It's just sorry, I reacted to that a little bit strongly. Can't see it. It's beautiful. So watch it just pop up into existence. Pop. Does that look familiar at all? That one I just wrote? This little guy? Let me make him big. Whoa. Okay. So using Raul's equation for the slope, that's going to be m. And then using either point to be x1, y1. Take a minute and figure out the equation of the line. I will warn you that it's going to be a little bit gross with some nifty fractions. You're welcome. Some beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. There is a T-Rex over there. What the shit? Am I in land of the lost? Bum, 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 ba-dum. Sorry, I'm extremely loopy nowadays. I'm very sorry. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. Somewhere. All right, Jeff. Let me see. Do. Really, dude? Really? All right, I'm going to catch up to you guys. Anybody, first point I see, which point do you want to use for this equation? I also need to do this equation. Sure, okay, we'll use 21, 2. And I also need to do this real quick. All right, so you can't see this, I guess. Let me put this in here. Should the slope be positive or negative? Yeah, you know it should be negative. You know it from the picture. So what always kills me is when a student says, yeah, I saw the picture, it was negative, but my work came out positive. So that's what I just put down. I'm like, no, that's a clue that you've done something wrong. What do you guys get for the slope? Yeah, okay. Boom! I get negative 13/15. I like it. So we put that in this bad boy here. Oh, get out of there. So here we go. Let me start to put this together. So I'm going to use the point 21, 2. So in place of y1, I'm going to put a 2. In place of x1, I'm going to put 21. And in place of m, I'm going to put negative 13/15 because I'm crazy. There. All right. Let me stop for a minute. Does this feel familiar to anybody at all? I mean, you guys, I'm hoping you guys have done this sometime in your whole life. Okay. So, yes, I'm going to keep the fraction. So if I distribute that through, I will get, let me show you what I'm going to do. What you going to do, Jeff? What you going to do with all that math? Let me see. I did not just say that. 13/21 divided by 15. Okay. Let me show you something funky looking. Is everybody kind of cool with that? I guess that's not the best time symbol I could use, is it? Holy shit. Get out of there. That's better. All right, let me stop for a minute. Is that cool? I distributed the negative 13/15 through there. Is everybody semi-cool with me? I know some of you guys went straight to decimal. You're crazy. You're all crazy. You don't want to round too early. Any decimal you use is rounded too much too early. And I know this is our estimate, so it almost doesn't matter. I understand that. So now that I've written it that way, I can just reduce. Doesn't 21 over 15 reduce? Right? I get that. I can put a 3 into 21 and 15. Oh man, this is taking too long. So, all right, just to cut to the chase. Is everybody with me on that? If you guys use decimals, I'll catch up to you sometime. So I think that's 91 over 5. Let me just replace that. 13 times 7 is 91, if I did that in my head right. And then I want to add 2 to both sides. So if I add 2, that's 10/5. So I end up with this. Oops, get out of there. Get out of there, 2. All right, get over. All right. And then I'll finally catch up to you guys. If I change it into, what do you call it? Decimals now, then I will get, I think somebody said it was negative 0.867, right? That's correct. And then 101 divided by 5 is 20.2. Is that right? Is everybody semi with me? That is our guess for the line of best fit. Now, again, in class, each of you would have drawn your own line. Most of you would have gotten different equations, but they all should have been close to this, right? Okay, and again, that is our guess. That's what we got from doing it by hand, or at least I did it by hand. You know, I put the line down. So now, go ahead, and I have collected all the data points here, right? There's 221, there's 3, where am I? 221, 317, so forth. There they all are. Put these into L1, put these into L2, and try to figure out the line of best fit in the R. If you weren't here last time, put these into L1, put these into L2, and then wait. Where's my, there it is. I still haven't figured out how to, anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to cast my calculator onto the laptop. It should be able to be done. Dadgummit. That would be interesting. Anyway, maybe I could do that. Jeff, you got to put this stuff in. That's a good point. Let's see, 2, 5. The worst thing in the world is to do that second column and then they don't match up the lengths. So I would stop somewhere like at 7 and make sure that 15 is next to 7. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's very easy to get off track, and that sucks a lot. Yay. All right. So you should end up, you know, oh, let me turn off Toby. He's messing me up here. Toby, got to turn you off. It's kind of funny because that was the name of one of my pets a while back, was Toby. All right. So this is, of course, what it looks like. You get it all in your lists, right? List 1, list 2. If I just want to make a scatter plot of this, I would hit stat plot. Well, you know, if you've already got stat plot set up and you haven't changed anything from the last time, but in case you weren't here last time, hit second y equals. Make sure the first one is turned on, and make sure you select, which side is this? The scatter plot option, the first option there. L1, L2 for your X's and your Y's. So then if I hit graph, this is very disappointing, right? For a few different reasons. I got a line in there that's not going to be my real line, so I got to clear y equals. Hit y equals, and I got to clear that shit out of there. All right. Also, what am I supposed to push when I put new data in for the calculator to find it? Exactly. Hit zoom, and it should be the 9th option. So you can just hit 9. Make sure it's the 9th option. Zoom stat, and then you should get this, which is basically exactly what's on the screen there, right? Yeah, of course it is, because it's the same points, right? Okay. Somewhere. Okay. How do I calculate the line of best fit and the R? The line of best fit is like a graphical average. The R is like a 2-dimensional standard deviation. It's very cool. What do I push to get there? Does anybody remember? Does everybody remember? What the hell, man? Yeah, So you want to calculate something from your data now. So you want to go to Stat, Calc. And then we're going to use the fourth option. The eighth option is there too, but that's insane. I don't know. We're going to use the fourth option to calculate the line of best fit for linear regression. That's what number 4 stands for, linear regression. So you should end up, if you have a newer calculator, it should look like this. If you have an older calculator, it just says linreg. And it defaults to list 1, list 2, so you could just hit enter if you have an older calculator. We have to go all the way down, calculate, and I get this stuff. So let me just hold there for a minute. Anyone get something different? Anyone have other technical issues out there in the world? I'm just a teacher in the world. Yay! All right, sweet. You never know. What if Jeff was one of us? Okay. I'm not seeing anything else. I'm going to assume everybody else is fine somehow. Okay. What's my line of best fit? What's the slope? Yeah, negative 0.879. Let me put this down. Look how close we got. Ours was negative 0.867. 0.879. And what's the y-intercept? Yeah, 20.5 or 20.49. We got pretty close, right? Now, this would be a little more neat if each of you had done your own line and we can see how close or far away people got, and nobody would really be wrong because it was just an estimate. We're just humans. What do you want from us? And what's the R value? What's the R for this? Lowercase r. Yeah, what was it? 0.94? 0.939? Yeah. Get in there. Now, I can't remember if I said this last time, but if I wanted to, I could make correlation hypothesis tests. I don't want to. I'm sure you don't want me to either. So instead, what I'm going to do on a quiz or a final, I'm going to tell you what the R value has to get past to show evidence of correlation. If I was really good at teaching, I would have looked up what it had to be for this. It is based on the sample size. The larger the sample is, the smaller R can be. So for a very small sample, it might have to be 0.9 to show evidence. Because you guys remember what 1 means? What does R equal 1 mean? Oh, it is negative. I'm sorry. I totally missed that negative. Thank you. So King's right. It should be negative because it's a down slope. I just didn't even see the negative down there, but it's a down slope, so it's got to be negative. Yeah, so R equal 1 or negative 1 would be perfect correlation, perfect positive, perfect negative. The minute you're away from 1, that means the points are getting away from the line. Let me see. Let me ask this question. If my data had only 2 points, what's R? See if anybody gets this. You're like, I don't even know. I'm not going to tell you what the point. Well, I'll tell you it's not straight up and down or straight across because that would be R equals 0. But if it was at some diagonal and there's 2 points, what will R always be? How many points define a line? What's the minimum number of points to define a line? 2. So if I am given 2 data points, they will always perfectly lie on the line because between the 2 of them, they define a line. So do you see, that's kind of like why the smaller the sample size, the higher R has to be to show evidence. The larger the sample size, the smaller R could be to show evidence. The closer to 0 it could be to still show evidence that there's correlation. So I will tell you that. I think in this case for a data, what was it, 12 data points? 10 data points? All right, 10 data points might be something like 0.7. So we obviously are past that. So I'd say this is a negative, decently strong correlation. That's what I'd say for part E. It's obviously negative. Get out of there. Negative, decently strong. If you study more, will you definitely make less mistakes? Is that what this study shows me? No, you can't say that. In fact, you cannot say yes. You cannot say no. Right? So you're sort of like a weird Schrodinger's cat. So I cannot tell from this study. Now, obviously, we bring in more information than just in this study, right? We know from personal experience that if I study more, I will make less mistakes normally, right? But just from this study, now listen, people that make less mistakes, maybe they're just better students and therefore they will study more. I don't know. Yeah. Is decently the word you want us to use? So Malachi is a really good question. So on a test or a quiz, I would make the R obviously weak or obviously strong, because I don't, if it comes out to be 0.82, you're like, it's almost like describing a wine. Well, it's sort of strong with hints of weakness, and it's a little vulnerable, this wine. Because so I'm gonna, it's a good point, Malachi. I'm not gonna try to make you come up with adjectives for these. It's roughly, sometimes on Tuesdays it feels pretty strong. No, so it's gonna either be like 0.98 or it's gonna be 0.37. Divine, it's divinely strong. Sure, why not? Puri prisoner. Let me see. So if you study more, we definitely make less mistakes. Cannot say. Not from this study. All this study did was it said, hey, there's a relationship between these two things. Oh, what causes the? I don't know. The study can't answer that question. Has an oaky, oh my God, afterbirth. Wait, do you mean, aftertaste? I don't know what happened to that statement, Malachi. I don't want to, why did you have to write that? I don't want to. Oh, is it? It does sound like an Office reference. All right, thank you for telling me that. I didn't get that immediately. I'm not a deep cut kind of guy with The Office. I love The Office, but not that much. All right, so what I want to do now, I'm never gonna make you do this again, okay? This part right here, this whole algebra step, I just wanted to remind you, hey, look what you learn in algebra, and hey, look, it has actual real life meaning. What I want us to do right now, I want you guys to help me. I want you to help me create a situation where the R value is going to come out positive, right? So I'm going to write down some stuff for X. Where are you? Let's see. All right, there's X. Somebody give me a number to put here. Could be anything. Let's see where my smart asses are. 18, okay. Thankfully, nobody said 83 billion or something. So if I put 18 here and I want this to be a positive R value, what makes sense to put here? I like it. I love it. All right. So I'm going to go with 24. What can go here? 30. Okay, now watch. You ready? You ready? I'm going to put 29 there. Why is that still okay? Because overall, yeah, it's not going to be an outlier, really. It's still going to be close, but it's not perfectly lockstep. What's really neat to me is you guys, this is going 6, 6. Do you guys see that? 6, 6, and this is going 5, almost 5. So you see how the slope is almost kind of keeping, and then of course I got to throw it off. And then maybe I can make this one 32. So the R value should be decently close to 1. If I had to take a guess, somebody want to take a guess what this R value is going to be? Nobody? I'm not making you put money down. I'm not going to make you PayPal me some money. 0.9 maybe. So I got an R is about 0.9 something. Anybody else have a guess? Does that sound good to everybody? 0.8. Hey, there we go. Now we're talking. Alexander's like 0.86. I can name that R value in 2 digits. All right. Nobody else wants to play. So take a minute. I want you to do everything. Put those into list 1, list 2, calculate the R, calculate the line of best fit. Try to make it show up on your calculator. And in fact, that's something I forgot to do here. We did get the points to show up, but just to help you guys, do you remember where I had to go to get the line of best fit in there? Yeah, y equals. So if you go to y equals, you could put the equation of the line in there. So try to do this, do all that for this. And let's see who's right between my 2 players. Whoever wins gets to watch this video over and over and go, I won. And that's about it. That's all you get. That's what's in my budget. Oh, I should probably do this too. Laura won now. Good try, Alex. You're close. All right. Who's got the slope of my line of best fit? Yeah. What is it? 0.68? I'm going to say 0.68. Yeah, sure. X. And then what's the y-intercept? 13.53. Dang it, Jeff. You didn't give himself enough room. And of course, the R value comes out to be 0.909. Is that right? Yeah. All right, so try to get this in your calculator and have it show up on the screen with all the dots. Make it look like what was on the handout we did. So on the day of the final, you have to tell me very soon if it is for some reason impossible for you to share a video with me. So some of you guys are doing it right now. Some of you guys, I don't know if it's possible and you just don't, because otherwise I could tell you're not really there. You went back to bed. I don't know. On the day of the final, I'm going to need it because I need to watch you. And then there's going to be this point where you got to hold your calculator up to the screen and show me the answer you get to the problem on the final. That's going to be like this. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Malachi, for letting us know that and for not letting us know that too well. All right, so let me see. I'm going to try to do this. So if I want to show you guys something. So I can go to y equals. I can go to y equals, right? And I can put in there 0.68. My x button is right next to alpha. That's my all-purpose variable button right there. X, t, blah, blah, blah. 0.68x plus 13.53. Now, if I hit graph right now, it's going to be disappointing. That is disappointing. Oh, yeah, so I'm doing that right now. What did I forget to hit to make it show, to make all my points show up? Yeah, zoom. Number 9 should be what it is, zoom stat. And that forces the calculator to find all my data. Look at that, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It looks marvelous. All right. So it kind of makes sense that the R value came out to be pretty close to 1 because my data points are pretty close to the line. Now, I want to show you one thing. See, we did the whole problem. See how the whole problem's done, right? But I do want to show you one thing. Do you notice, have you ever noticed? No, if you notice when you do the test, when you do the lin reg, do you see all the other shit that's there? The frequency list would be if I had a frequency list, like a histogram kind of listing, and I don't. But what is this dude? Store regec. That means store regression equation. So this is something you never have to do, but I just want to show you because it's there. You could actually tell it to store something into Y1. And the way you get to Y1, do you see where it says vars? Stands for variables. If I hit that button, I can select Y variables. Y variables. I can select function, and I can select any of those. So I'm going to select Y1. So now when I do this, it automatically, if I hit Y equals, it puts the whole, look at that shit. It just stores it automatically for me. So then I just have to hit zoom 9. And then pop, my line of best fit is really close to perfect. It's not approximated too much. So one last thing I want to say. You could do this just by looking at this data. What if, whatever this represents, this is like age and score on some test, right? Can I use what we have done to predict what somebody would make on the test if they are 26? Now, just looking at the data, if I had to predict about what somebody 26 years old is going to do, the mistake we make is we only look at this piece. So I would say 26 would be like 31 or something. Do you guys see where that guess is coming from? But the line of best fit takes into account the entire trend. So how can I use the line of best fit to help me predict for a 26-year-old what their grade should be? What time is it? Okay, we still got time. 26 would be which variable? X. So can't I just plug the damn thing? I've got an equation that estimates what these are. So if I plug 26 in, I can get the official, what do you call it? Prediction. I'm having trouble with, what is it? English. I'm having trouble with English. 0.68 times 26 plus 13.53. So I do end up getting 31.21. So the guess was pretty good. So that's why do I trust this line to make good predictions? Because the R was so damn good. When you predict this, you're 91%. Oh, not really, Malachi. That's not what R means, to be honest. That's a good try, though. I like that. R squared. All right. This is going a little above and beyond, but I like that this question came up. R squared tells me percent change in this that is predicted by the change in this. So R squared here is like 0.82 or something. I don't know. What was it? This is going a little bit above and beyond what we really have to worry about. Yeah, 0.826. So 82%, almost 83% of the change in Y is explained by the change in X, which means there's other variables that contribute to how Y changes. Right? What else might affect somebody's score? How much do they pay attention? Yeah, I know, Malachi, it is crazy. The thing that really makes this really difficult to directly take that interpretation is every variable that's involved can affect every other variable. So you might think that this is the best predictor because it's like, 83%. Something else could affect it by 87%. And you're like, that adds up to more than 100. I don't care because they could all affect each other at the same time. Yeah. But you don't have to worry about R squared and what it means, but it is very interesting and crazy. And if I ever ask you a question about, well, does what you found mean that if I change this, then this is going to change? Your answer cannot be yes. Your answer cannot be no. Your answer must be, we have no idea. Okay. That's not what this test is for. That's not what this test is capable of. Okay. I'm trying to remember if I forgot to tell you anything else. I think that's good. I will show you one more thing, just because. If you're here and you hit, do you see where it says calc above trace? And this is extra shit. This is just extra shit. If you hit calc above trace, you'll get here. And the very first thing is value. If I select it, I could put it in X value, like, I don't know, 26. And then it gives me the Y value, which is what we got earlier, right? And of course, it's got the equation in it. It's $100. It should be able to go look at the equation and do the damn thing for me, right? So you don't have to do that. We didn't do it earlier. We just plugged it in the equation, right? That's fine too. But I just like to show you some shortcuts. Okay. I was thinking we should have like a mask day. Everybody shows their mask. Isn't that cool? One of my neighbors made that for me. Yay, because the one I made was out of an old tie-dye shirt, and it looked like my nose exploded because it had all this red right here. So, which helped me physically distance. Nobody wanted to come near me. It was beautiful. But that looks a lot better. I like that one. All right, I think that's enough. I've started talking about exploding noses. I think that's a good sign that it's done. Anybody need to hang out for a bit after, have questions? I'm gonna make the quiz active on Canvas the minute I shut this down. So, don't freak out. It'll definitely be ready by 10, I would think, or sooner for sure. And if nobody has questions, we can all just leave. That's an option. I submitted a few weeks ago. Oh yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember the before times when we were in classrooms. When you turned in homework, if it was after the day of the test, which in this case, the quiz, I graded that stuff whenever I could. I focus on the new homework that will help people with the new quizzes that we haven't taken yet. So can you tell me what app you're using for the calculator? That I'm using a calculator. Oh, I need to see if this will work because here's my phone, right? There's my phone. And I have this kick-ass app. Let me see. Where are you, app? It's a little illegal now, but I stole it from I downloaded it from the store before they took it off the store. So it's got a TI calculator on my phone. right? There's other stuff. There's something called Wabbit, EMU emulator, Wabbit. You can yeah, there's a ton of TI-84 emulators. So if you search the store for TI-84 emulator, there's a ton of them are free. You use which one, Samantha? The Wabbit? Did you use the Wabbit, Samantha, or which one? Samantha? Did she leave? Oh, the Wabbit. You use the Wabbit? I just like to say Wabbit. The Wascoey Wabbit. Oh yeah, the premium version. I know, Victor, but there are some that don't do that. Oh, Ree, I'm sorry. If you submitted them before the quiz, then I'm sorry if I didn't grade it. Let me see if I can look that up real quick. Scheisse. What was it again? 8-1 and no 8-2 and 8-3. Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah. So if that's true, I'm sorry. I thought I did. I tried to grade things before the actual quiz was happening, but you know, things were a little bit crazy for a while. Yeah. So don't worry. Let me make sure. I should have it. You should be able to see if you submitted it. So let me see if I can. I'm not even sure how to see you specifically. All right. Section 8-2, 8-3. Yeah. So they're turned in. I just haven't graded them for whatever reason. I'm sorry. Never got a grade back. Okay. So for some reason, I guess I didn't get chapter 8 stuff graded before the quiz, and I'm sorry. I normally try to do that, but there was a period of time when I was having, on average, 6 Zoom meetings a day about various things. I'm not sure what you mean. When you go into Canvas after I've graded a quiz, you should be able to see the markings I made on the quiz, right? See, Samantha. Which quiz are you talking about, Samantha? What you talking about? Let me make this live. I'm gonna make these live real quick. The last quiz, quiz 7. Okay. Let me make today's quiz live real quick. All right, let me see. Quiz 7. Oh, shoot, I'm in the wrong place. Dang it. Quiz 7. Quiz 7. Quiz 7. And then Samantha. Yeah, so when you look at your quiz, Samantha, it should have my markings. I marked it all up in green. Now, wait a minute. What's going on here? Oh, I see. That's right. You had submitted. Oh, you can't. Oh, shoot. Because okay. You submitted and then resubmitted on top of you submitted the first page and then you resubmitted the second page. So I think from your perspective, when you do that, it like overwrites the first submission. I can see both of them, but I don't think you can. You submitted 2. You did. You might not remember. Yeah. So you don't have to do that. When you submit, and then you add a file. You don't submit, you add a file, you add another file, you add another file, and then you submit. If you resubmit, then I don't think you can, on your end, you'll be able to see it. So I'm not really sure how to do this for you now. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So from your perspective, Samantha, you can't, I don't have to record this.